without any further ado, we got the Zulu Triforce in here right now. This is like going to Bronx River back in 1979 or 80 or 81. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. When we used to walk up in there and see these three cats blowing it up. Without any further ado, we got the Amun-Ra hip-hop culture, the one and only godfather, DJ Africa Bambaataa!
Hip hop to me, man, it's a way of life, it's a mindset, it's a lifestyle, it's all the above, and it means something different to everybody.
So hip hop for me, it's the most common music out there. It's the way that people express themselves in the way that others can understand them. And
hip hop means like an expression of thoughts and emotions. Yeah.
Pop to me is it's just a way of living, you know. It's just how I carry myself every day, like through the different aspects, be it like in my case I MC, I do graffiti, I dance back in the day, produce here and there, and it's just how I live. It's how I live my life.
It all started in 1953. The Bronx, a neighborhood in New York, was changed forever. A functioning community was deeply scarred by a 7-mile trench that would soon become the Cross Bronx Expressway. More than 60,000 homes were bulldozed to create room for the project, turning inhabited buildings into piles of rubble. Many people, many minorities, were uprooted and forced to move to nearby communities with available public housing but no jobs. Confined to housing projects, surrounded by crime-ridden parks, gang violence began to inundate the lives of these community members. By the mid-1970s, the Bronx had lost 600,000 manufacturing jobs, and the average income had dropped from $4,800 to $2,400. Without economic opportunities, landowners began to burn their own buildings to collect insurance money, which was more than the rent they could charge. The developing situation perpetuated an economy of destruction, as slumlords hired rent-a-thugs to burn buildings for as little as $50 a job and collect up to $150,000 of insurance money. Insurance companies profited from selling more policies as the community burned. Investors had no reason to put money back into the area. Heroin dealers, junkie thieves, crooks, and contract arsonists filled the streets like vultures. Groups of thieves plundered burned buildings for valuable copper pipes, fixtures, and hardware. The community was systematically destroyed, leaving countless minorities without a future and without a voice.
A lot of the social issues, be it racism, the drug problem in America,
it's giving a voice to minorities, but minorities already know. It's like, for years, NWA was always said they were street reporters. Well, if you live in the neighborhood, you already know everything. So, and you're telling a group of people who really don't care anyway.
South Bronx communities created hip-hop in the late 1970s. The new music was a way to unite the community as a whole in the face of the political, economic, and social problems it faced. Figures such as Africa Bambaataa, DJ Kool Herc, and Grandmaster Flash are considered the godfathers of hip-hop, as they were the first to throw the organized parties that brought the community together. It came to the point where the parties became so popular they had to be moved to outdoor venues in order to accommodate the people. Many people, especially teenagers, were impacted by hip-hop. Teenagers who had been in gangs for years were looking for ways to express themselves. Hip-hop was a means to vocalize the hardships of life as a minority in America and was also an outlet to deal with the violence in gang culture. DJ Kool Herc and Africa Bambaataa created an organization called Universal Zulu Nation, whose goal was centered on using hip-hop to draw teenagers out of the gang life and violence.
It's been the voice for minorities because it really speaks for us, you know, especially when it's done right. It continues to call out the social ills of today's environment and today's society. And whereas I think mainstream media doesn't do that, but hip-hop always and continues to be it underground or not so much the mainstream, but you'll hear messages out there, but it reflects what's going on in the inner city.
Well, I think that the message hip-hop sends out is, an ideal about the American dream. And, most songs talk about, like, materialistic things, owning materialistic things like money and, bling bling and all that stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think some of those issues need to be addressed in hip-hop. Whether it be, we had a black president, we have a lot of social issues going on that used to be a part of hip-hop. Back in the day, that's all we talked about in hip-hop was social issues. Okay? Hip-hop was the original founders of hip-hop were very community conscious, nationally conscious individuals. It wasn't until the last few years that everybody became, pretty much became monetary, strictly monetarily involved.